Yo, what's up, fam? It's your boy Patrick Bentley back with another video. Today, we're going to be covering how I create standard operating procedures or SOPs and delegate different tasks to different people on my team. So, most of you that are going to watch this video are already running your own business. And if you're not already running your own business, then you are an aspiring entrepreneur. One thing that is going to be true is when you're running a startup or when you're running any business, as the CEO of that business, you are going to be wearing a lot of different hats. But one of the most important things for you to do is to actually make sure that the business is moving forward. So, how do you do that when you also need to be doing all of these different tasks like social media, content creation, content marketing? How do you actually do that? Now, what I do is I use virtual assistants and I have contract workers all across the world who help me with a lot of different tasks. But I need to make sure that the quality is there, even if I'm delegating that to somebody else. And this is where a standard operating procedure, or what we call an SOP for short, really comes in handy. So an SOP is basically just a step-by-step guide about a particular process that allows for someone to come after you and to be able to do that same exact activity or that same exact process. So today, what I want to do is quickly run you through our content marketing and social media SOP and just run you through some of the different methods that we use to create that so that you can replicate that inside of your own company, right? So I use Google Docs for my entire business system. So everything, every SOP or every document that I share with a client, I'm using Google Doc to do that. Number one, because it's free, but also because it has a lot of built-in functionality. So let's go ahead and jump in and let's talk about what this SOP is all about, right? So this is my SOP, right? It is a Google Doc. Now, in my SOP, there are a few things that we always need to make sure that we have. One of those is going to be the tools that we're going to use for this process. So in my case, I'm using Google Drive, I'm using Google Sheets, I'm using Loomly, and I'm also using a video recording tool called Loom. This is the same tool that I'm using right now to record this video. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. The second part is we also want to have the relevant documents. So going back to why I use Google Docs is because one of the functionalities that I like about Google Docs is that I can actually uh, I can link other documents that I have inside of my Google Drive, right? And they're always there. So we want these things to be handy. So for me, what are the documents that I need to run my social media? It's a content planner, right? The social media assets that we use to actually make the images and the post on social media in the actual folder. So all of these are really important. So the 30-day content planner itself is just an Excel spreadsheet. And let me move my head over here a little bit. But this is really just an Excel spreadsheet that we're using to keep track of all of the different posts that we're making, right? And we're able to reference this. So we have the title, whatever the caption is, the where this exists on the drive, and both if it's already posted on our site, what kind it is, if it's already been published, when it was published, what kind of graphic we're using for that, etc. Right now, and we keep one of these for every month. And then we also have a Figma file that we use, and Figma is what we use for all of our design assets. But we have a Figma file that we use, and it has everything that we need in it. So whether that is carousel images or whether that is just actual posts, we already have all of that ready. And so we can come in for any of our posts and we can change any of this around, right? So these are the tools that we use. And in addition to that, we use a tool called Loomly. And Loomly is a social media scheduler. And we can use that to post or schedule our post on my different business pages, whether that's Instagram, whether that's Facebook, or whatever, Twitter. You can just schedule these weeks, months in advance, and it saves us a lot of time. So we can bulk create our content. We can bulk go ahead and schedule those things, and then we can do other things, right? So now we've got all of those things listed inside of this Google Doc, right? So that all my social media manager needs to do is reference this doc, and everything that she needs is already, or he or she needs, is already there, right? So number one, it makes it easy. We've got a centralized location for everything that we need. And so think about how many minutes you spend just going and picking and, finding the things that you're going to need, but they're already here for you or anybody else who needs them. Now, after that, we go in and we define who the actual team members are for this process, right? Who else do you need to communicate with in order to do this process? And then after that, what I do is I just go into a step-by-step process. And I actually outline every single step that needs to be done for this social media process. So quick running through these steps, right? We collect all of our logins. Once the writer creates the content on the actual page or on the Loom video, then we put that inside of our 30-day content planner. And then it has all of the details that we're going to need for that content. Once that content is in the planner, and then we'll have the social media manager come and create those posts by using either Canva or the Figma, like I told you. And then we log into Loomly and we walk through every single one of these steps. So et cetera, et cetera. We schedule the content, right? Now, this is a step-by-step process. Now that it's done, the last thing that I will do is I will actually create a video of myself running through this process. And then once that process has been recorded, I will link that right here at the top of this of this SOP. Now, not only do you have the instructions, but you can see me walking through an example of what it's like to actually go through every single one of these steps in the process, right? And then now that I have this, I can replicate this same exact template for all of the different things that exist inside of my business, right? Now, what does this do? This allows for me, the CEO or the founder, to really focus my time where I should be, and that is making the business go forward, booking clients, right? Doing all of the important things. And now I can delegate, whether that's other team members that are working with me in the office, whether that is virtual assistants, an offshore team. But now you have a process and you can make sure that the quality is the same and you can start to delegate things, right? This is how we start to scale our business. Yo, I really hope this piece of information was valuable for you. If it was, follow me on YouTube. Give me a like on social media. Give TechPeer a like on social media as well. And if this is something that, or if you want more information, reach out to me, right? Patrick Bentley, TechPeer. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Peace.